We are creating deliverables. We are trying to follow the schedule that we created at the end of the planning phase, which is our schedule baseline. In order to verify how we are doing schedule-wise, we have to gather status information of all the activities that we are working on and all the activities that we completed. The information related to those activities will be presented in a Gantt chart. And once we have that information on the Gantt, we have to interpret the data and evaluate how the project is doing related to the schedule. On a weekly basis, the project manager should receive all status information of all activities that the project team is working on. Standard templates will help the project manager and the team members to make the reporting easier. The standardization will lead to a simplification and a better control. The status information should be correct. It is very important that the project manager reviews that information before approving it. When you look at schedule information, status information related to the timing of the activities, it is very important to be aware that percentage complete reporting may be not always correct. For example, you have a 4-period task. Task has a duration of 4 periods. You finished 2 periods where you finished 50% of the time of the activity, and people working on that activity may have the tendency to report 50% completed. As a project manager, you have to verify if this information is correct. When you plan to make 10 bicycles in a period of 4 days or 4 periods in general, you should have finished 5 bicycles to report 50% complete. So when you see an activity and the team members report 50% complete, you have to verify how many bicycles did the team create. For example, they created 4 bicycles in 2 periods, which means they should have produced 5. They're not at 50%, but they are at 40%. So percentage complete, be aware of those, verify them properly, and then adjust the information, and of course educate the people who gave you the wrong information. When we put the information on the Gantt chart, you see the red line, which is the day of reporting. We see the red activities, which are on the critical path, and the black arrow that we have here shows the status of that activity at the moment of week 4, the end of week 4. We see that activity A has been completed. We don't have information that the activity was completed on time or not, but we could find that in the history of the project. We see that activity B should have been completed already a long time ago, but we are only at 2/3 of the activity. So we have to take into account what will happen, when do we think the activity will be completed. It's an activity which is not on the critical path, so we may feel comfortable, but we have to verify because there may be a dependency between task B and F. So when task B is late, it may have an effect on that activity F or on the activity D, but we see that activity D already started, and it means that there is no relation between B and D. Task C, well, this is very good because we already finished more than what we expected. We are already at 50% after working one period on the activity. So probably the activity will finish at the end of week 5 or period 5, which will lead to a reduction of the project duration because activity E will be able to start faster. Again, we have to be careful. What are the consequences of this situation? Here a little bit more detail of the same element that we had before. You have to be careful. You see that the activity B has a problem. Will that problem create more problems? We have a phenomenon here, what we could call critical path convergence. So the fact that activity B is taking longer, the slack of that path will be reduced, and the project manager here has to review what will be the effect on the duration of the project. Next step, let's have a look at the cost. How much money are we spending? And what can we conclude with that information? See you there, take care, and thank you.